Just gonna make this video as I get ready for the day with my morning eye exercises. Normally I would do it both hands, but because I live in a really shitty place and humanity is shitty in general, I haven't had my prosthetic worked on. And the threading for the hook went out over a year ago, so it's been over a year that I've had a working prosthetic. God, society fucking... people are shit. Anyway. So this is about, am I in an abusive relationship with Judaism? I've drawn this conclusion many times. This is a cycle. I call it, let them hate me for free. Now you might say, Gabe, the Jews don't hate you just because you're the Goyim. Jews don't hate the non-Jews. But their actions are pretty hateful. For example, this year I've donated more money than I ever have to any cause in my life, and it all went to Jewish causes. What did I get in return? Did I get a community care support network to help me when I run out of food, or to help me get my prosthetic worked on by helping me keep appointments and giving me transportation, things like that? Fuck no! I got kicked out of the Convert to Judaism course and kicked out of the Learn Hebrew online course. That was the reward for my giving more money than I ever have. Because Jews are greedy, I guess. So for me, I think it was like $2,000 roughly that I gave this year to Jewish causes. Since I'm poor and live on disability and student loans are helping, a lot of that money came from student loans that I donated. $2,000 is a lot of money for me. Jews are like only $2,000. Fuck them. That's my guess. I don't know. They're not exactly explaining their behavior. They're not communicating directly, so I have to make my own guesses for what their answers would be to these questions, because they don't answer these questions. But when I first started seeking a community that was marijuana free, I knew from the beginning Jews would not be that community. Interestingly enough, there are secular Jews who oppose marijuana, like Alex Bernstein, and these are liberals, so they're in science. These are atheists. Therefore, the party of science, they're saying, no, the science clearly proves marijuana causes psychosis, the violent crime increase, look at all the problems New York is suffering from as a direct result of marijuana. What was that guy's name? Jordan Neely is just one of the million examples of that. And, so the last religious Jew that I could find that opposed marijuana was Rabbi Moshe Feinstein in the 70s. The Jews who were writing that Convert to Judaism course, they had a Jew smoking marijuana on Zoom camera in the online shiur. And they definitely pushed the marijuana on me. It was like they were doing the same thing the secular Tel Aviv Learn Hebrew course was doing. They were using their education of me to subvert me, to manipulate me towards things that had nothing to do with religion or learning Hebrew. Social engineering through education. Indoctrination. And with the religious Jews, which I don't really think they're religious, they charge $250 to $500 per student. They have over 150 students, so that's a lot of money every month. They're more like Judaism salesmen. And the rabbis that I watched on YouTube teach that, beware of rabbis who use Torah for profit, who make money off the Torah. So there was a red flag there. But I wanted to convert to Judaism, specifically for the aforementioned goal of getting a social support network, with my disabilities and stuff, my cognitive failures and things, which I am working on as much as I can myself, right? My inner locus of control, I am not failing for effort. So, yeah, it's the woman, when I started saying, that's like, my litmus test for any religious organization is, how do you guys feel about marijuana? And the woman who runs the course, she was saying, oh, well, it's medicinal. And I said, yeah, bullshit. And I started sending her all these messages proving that whole medicinal thing is a scam and a lie. It's caused suicide through medical prescriptions. It's caused homicide through medical prescriptions. It's caused an increase in diabetes, obesity, the decline in the literacy rate, the graduation rate, very connected to, mainstream push of marijuana culture, marijuana propaganda, marijuana legalization. So clearly it's not medicinal. It causes cognitive impairment, obesity, diabetes, etc. And instead of responding, she just said, because she knew I was right, that I had proved that she was lying about its medicinal values, she simply said, oh, well, this class is about Judaism, not marijuana. This is a marijuana debate. Stop asking questions, goyim. Or I'll shut you down. And they shut me down. The fucking Citizen Cafe and convert to Judaism.net or whatever. Converting to Judaism.net. Yeah, they both did the oy vey, shut it down. They shut me down. They kicked me out. It's funny for me. Anyway, so why am I giving them money if they're being hateful, and destructive towards me with this marijuana agenda, the anti-racism agenda from Citizen Cafe, etc., etc., etc. Oh yeah, and Citizen Cafe almost had a bit of like a homosexual agenda in there as well, gay acceptance. It was very sneaky, it was very subversive. They had us saying something, hevet, that's right. So it was like, oh, we all say Romeo loves me. Romeo hevet ani. Romeo hevet ani. And I when it came my turn, I'm like, Juliet hevet et ani. And she said, guys, no, like, it means love, but it can also mean like. Very sneaky. And yeah, so they're not only subverting anti-racism, but gay acceptance and the LGBT global homo agenda. But yeah, so I knew that, seeking to convert to Judaism wouldn't provide me with a society and community that was drug and alcohol free. Muslims smoke weed and drink alcohol, despite the lore and how they're portrayed online and on social media as being these like resistors to drugs. Yeah, they do a fuck ton of drugs. So it's like there's no group, right? Why did my family fail me? Why does my family fail to be this community support network and also a drug-free society community? Compound, right? Square 10 acres without any marijuana smoke or something, etc., etc., etc. Why does Spanish Catholicism also fail to do that? And that is another interesting thing, is while all this is going on and I'm putting all this money for me into Judaism, there is no return profit. There is no return benefit. This is all a pure net loss for me. And it got to the point that I was, when things are good, I try to help others, because when things are bad, I need help. And so when things are bad, I've sought help repeatedly from the Jews. Hey, I'm running out of food this month. Can you send me some kosher food, maybe? Nothing. Christians helped me. And so it felt kind of bad that I was, shitting on Christianity because, well, it is, the Jews are right. Jesus could not have been the Moshiach. And it's a false idol. It's a false religion to worship man as God. But at the same time, the Christians were at least being nice and providing me with food and helping me, even with housing at one point. So why did the Spanish Catholic Church fail? They at least opposed marijuana, which is more than what the Mormons did. And when that legalization debate hit New Mexico, the churches said, oh, they're limp-wristed about it. I don't want to be square, but it was literally their exact words. Nobody's used the term square since the 60s, you fucking boomer. Anyway, But they did help me out. And when I sought help from the Jews, despite all this money that I've pumped into them, they don't help at all. They're, I don't know, selfish or elite. This elitist attitude, right? And why would we help you? You're a filthy goyim, a Gentile. It's literally what their actions express. So, with all this in mind, when I see October 7th, I'm like, well, according to Judaism, all of Israel suffers for the sins of a single Jew. So this is supposed to be, God's punishing the Jews for their wickedness yet again, according to my interpretation, which could be a wrong interpretation, but Jews aren't exactly good communicators, so I guess I have no choice but to make my own interpretations. Oh, my children. Anyway.